Hello and welcome back to the Level Up Podcast.
Episode 12, y'all.
Yeah, we are just
We're just motoring away. Would this be the last one of summer 2025?
It would.
It would, yeah.
So that's exciting.
So that's huge. Huge news.
Exactly. So today's topic is level up your fun. 4 key ways to put more play and happiness into your life.
Make fun a priority, basically. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, basically, we're going to dive into the habits, mindsets, and strategies that help us live, work, and play at our highest level. Today's episode's all about fun. And it's not just the kind of fun that happens by accident, but the kind of fun we can intentionally design into our lives.
Focused fun.
Exactly. This episode's inspired by Catherine Price's research that Huey came across.
TED Talk. She did a brilliant TED Talk on the necessity of actually incorporating fun into your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, just your life overall.
Awesome. So we're going to explore her 4 essential ingredients to having more fun, which are reducing distractions, interacting with people, breaking the rules, and prioritizing fun like it's an appointment.
Yep.
So let's talk about how we can all laugh a little bit more, play a little bit more, and live a lot more fully.
All right.
You ready to start?
I'm ready to have some fun.
Okay. So the first question is, why do you think we as adults often forget to prioritize fun into our daily lives?
Okay. I'm going to just guess, and, this one here is, I think, something that we could all sort of relate to. They basically, I don't know who coins terms like adulting. And basically what it says is once you become an adult, you have to stop having fun.
Yeah.
Literally, I think that's crazy. What that meant. Yeah, which is, there's no
reason why you can't.
A reason why you can't, still be, joyful and, playful and fun in your day-to-day and still get what you have to do done. I think I think generations gone by, where, basically men were men and they had to go out and, slay the saber-toothed tiger and, build the dams and so forth. You needed a man's man back then. You definitely needed somebody who was strong. You definitely needed somebody who was serious. You needed somebody who could sort of get things done. Well, there are no saber-toothed tigers roaming the streets, and we don't have to hunt and gather for our dinner anymore. So, I mean, what it tells me is that because of, I think ideas for, an age gone past, we haven't really sort of adjusted to what probably might be more effective today. And I really think people could have some more fun and be more, happy in their day to day. What do you think?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think people maybe get bogged down with their responsibilities and their jobs that they maybe forget to incorporate that.
Yeah, well, stress kills. I mean, and it's been proven. There have been studies on, people not being able to regulate stress. They generally don't live very long.
No, they end up getting some chronic disease of some
chronic
sort.
Disease, inflammation, and so forth. And that has a lot to do with basically people not, slowing down and taking things, I think, way too seriously. I think you can only do that for a certain amount of time. So my thinking is basically, I think if we did learn to have more fun in our lives, we probably would live definitely happier lives, but probably longer as well.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Okay, question 2. Catherine Price says one ingredient for fun is reducing distractions. In today's world of constant notifications, how can we practically cut through the noise and create space for joy?
Yeah, well, that I think really, and that really takes some time. It's actually creating quality time with either your significant other, your family, your kids, or your friends, and sort of shutting off your digital communication, your smartphone, your devices.
Yeah.
Right? I think you know, there's a different kind of fun when you're basically passing a mime or saying to somebody, "Oh, did you see that? That's really funny." To actually having genuine conversation in the moment,
yeah,
discussion with somebody. That's entirely different.
Yeah.
There's an intimacy there that you cannot get if you're dealing with your smartphone. And
True.
so, for me, I don't have a problem connecting with people. I'm a connector. So are you to a large extent. You're very comfortable, sort of communicating with people. You generally meet them at their energy level. I do the same, but for a lot of people, they're not so good at it. And so basically it becomes an internal workshop where you have to basically make yourself so you can attract better energy. If you don't, you're going to simply have the energy from the stress of your job, stress of your home, stress of your right? Yeah. And so if that's what you carry around all the time, it's going to be hard to cultivate sort of great exchanges, fun exchange. You ever meet somebody and you're like, oh my God, they have a wonderful energy.
Yeah.
Well, find out what they're doing and copy that.
Yeah.
Like,
take something from that.
Take something from that, right? Because if you basically, and I think that's the problem with most people, is they're walking around with all of their issues in the forefront of their head. And so they've justified whatever reaction they're going to give to a total stranger.
Yeah.
Right? But people have to realize that's your thing, right? I have my thing. I don't necessarily have to contend with what you're dealing with. And quite possibly, I might look at what you're dealing with entirely different than you. Yeah. Right? And so,
for sure.
Yeah. So if you've decided this is my reality and the world's reality, it's going to be really hard to sort of, tune out and have fun. Like, fun is basically, yes, I think we're always going to have issues. I think we're always going to have stuff we're dealing with, but you have to be able to compartmentalize it and realize that, hey, this is not my end all. This is not, this does not make me. This is just a part of something that I have to deal with. And if I can't do anything about it right now, chances are I'll deal with it at a later date.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's making a cognizant effort to turn things off and just unplug from tech and work and stuff that people feel obligated to be on top of all the time. And just take some time for themselves and have some fun in whatever form that is.
The thing is that, and it's unfortunate, but society has basically created this, competition for everyone that we always feel that we have to be turned on.
Exactly.
Right?
Just because we got a smartphone doesn't mean you're accessible, or you shouldn't have to be accessible all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately,
that's the way of our world.
No. I mean, it's they say it's just as addictive as crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, your phone.
Dopamine.
Yeah, dopamine.
Rush.
Yeah.
Okay, question 3. I think we kind of talked about it, but anyway, we will delve into it anyway. Interacting more with people is another big point. Do you think fun is better when shared, or can solo fun be just as fulfilling?
Okay, well, thus our Hot Wheels, t-shirts. I think we could basically,
let the cat out of the bag.
Let the cat out of the bag. Well, I mean, the thing is that for me, these things, they provide a bunch of things, but one is obviously nostalgia. They take you back to a simpler time when you were kids, and you and I are pretty close to the same age, so it was pretty cool.
So they were in our childhood, mine for sure, yours for sure.
Absolutely.
And everybody I talk to has like Hot Wheels memories
and a story
that are so happy.
Absolutely. And so for us, I think, when we started collecting, that's probably going on about, 2.5 years now?
Yeah.
It was, for me, it was just, at the time, I was just sort of looking for something to collect, right? And then we came across those, and we've delved into it pretty deeply. It's actually been fantastic, but more so what I've gotten from it, and that's what probably inspired this podcast, is the joy.
Yeah, it takes you away from the mundane tasks that you gotta do in your life.
It's fun.
Because you're still gonna have to do those tasks and things and responsibilities. Like, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
But for a brief moment in time, you can get caught up in that.
Oh, absolutely. But it's much like the Fanatics card sporting cards collections today. You know, those things are going for literally millions and millions of dollars. And it's for what they represent.
Yeah.
Right? And so, you know, the bottom line is that I think if you could find something like that that's going to take you back to, you know, happier times, it's going to sort of put you in a place of childlike, you know, wonder
and
curiosity.
Because when you see them and you look at them, like, I can't remember exactly what they looked like from
when we were kids.
You know, a couple of years ago when we were kids.
Yeah, it was a couple of years. It was,
multiplied by a lot, but I don't remember the detailing being the way it is today.
Oh no, they're amazing today. They've really upped their game. I mean, they're literally miniature works of art. The detail. They're spectacular. I can't say enough about Hot Wheels.
And
I absolutely
they have it
love them.
for everybody, like for everybody's interests. If you're into Snoopy or Hello Kitty or Star Trek.
Well, they've got
Batman,
collaborations with every major brand that we know and care about.
Whereas when we were in our childhood days, they didn't have like all that variety.
No, but even today, I mean, today, the toy industry is booming. You got the Labubu doing, you know, incredibly well, the Labubu dolls. You know, you've got, Barbie's always been a staple toy. But people are basically Lego is doing some phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
And it's because people are really looking to sort of connect with that inner child. That's exactly what it is. Well, that go to the place where life was innocent.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Where you didn't have to make an excuse to be happy. You were just happy.
Yeah.
Right? And so I know for me it's created it's just a trigger. It's just a really great trigger to go back to childhood when things were simple. But I see you as well. I see you, you know, when you hoard yours. And oh, by the way, guys, I'm not the only one collecting them. We have quite a few, but they're split entirely evenly. Deanna has her collection. I have my collection as well. So it's a shared hobby. It's a shared interest.
Yeah, and it's fun to see it, or it's kind of exciting when you find that one that you've been looking for.
Oh yeah, and we found pretty much every single one of them. Like you'll say, you know, it'd be great if I could find that, and then 2 days later, 3 days later.
The other, just a week or two ago, the one about I want that magic ball one. Yeah.
And now you've got 3, 4 of them.
Yeah. And like 2 days later, Huey comes back with them, and I'm like, okay.
yeah. I've got great luck locating.
Yes, he's got a good source. So I think I think the question, to go back to that, I think it's important to do and have solo fun, just to help yourself recharge and regenerate. But it's also nice to have a shared hobby or something fun to do with other people.
Well, I think if you're not doing that, you're making a major mistake in life. If you're not looking for ways to have fun, to enjoy it, then, you know, literally you're just carrying just the wrong energy consistently. Yeah. I don't think we're meant to basically be always uptight and serious and angry. I really don't believe that was the goal. No. You know, I mean, I've always been, you know, I keep you in stitches all the time. That's just my personality, right? And I generally make people laugh. But that's just my way, right? And when I meet people like that, I'm like, good on you. You're actually, you know, contributing to you're everybody likes to feel good, right? I think, and if more people were to try to do that, I think we'd probably be in a better state of affairs in the world in general, right?
Very true. Okay, question 4. One of the more interesting ideas is to find a way to break the rules. How do you think bending or breaking everyday rules can actually spark creativity and playfulness?
Okay, well, for this, I'll take a stab at this. See, traditionally, we are socialized in order to basically, like, you're in school and you're basically told this is how you do this. This is what time you have to be at school. This is, you know, you have to study and make sure you pass. So you're going through tests. So really, there's very little leeway for creativity, for us as individuals to basically to try. We're given very strict guidelines. It's almost like being in a jail in a sense, right? So where breaking the rules comes in, it should come in your interactions with other human beings, right? That's why we go to rock concerts, right? That's why we go mountain climbing. That's why we go jumping out of a plane, right? That's why you pay movie stars and all of these entertainers and sports stars. That's why you go to U.S. Opens are on right now, to sporting events, is because you're seeing these people breaking the rules. They're doing stuff that you're not allowed to do in your day to day, right? They're the top of top athletic specimens doing incredible feats, and we're like in awe. That's really where it comes from. So the bottom line is that everyone can do that in their own form,
own little world,
little world. But you have to make an effort.
Yes, I'm going to be serious and professional when I'm talking with a client.
Yeah.
But you and I can have an off joke, or we can be a little more fun in the office space.
Well, hopefully, I mean, the thing is with that is you have to be able to be confident in it. You have to let people know that, I mean, I can, I could poke fun, I could find a humor in something, but it is simply in jest.
Yeah.
It's not, I think some people take it a bit too far in the wrong environment, but I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary to have, a sense of humor about things, because, I mean, one old saying, basically, no one gets out alive, and it's true, right? Yeah. So, 100 years from now, no one on earth is going to still be alive, so that kind of puts things in perspective. Not to be fatalist or, morbid or anything like that, but that is the truth. True. So while we're here,
try to enjoy it.
Try to enjoy it. I mean, I think that's really what it comes down to, is basically create the fun.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe you can't be joking around, but you could maybe, I don't know, change up your routine or do things out of sequence, or just something a little bit different than the regular day-to-day.
You see, when I grew up, we went to dinner parties a lot, right?
Yeah, you mentioned that.
And that's all we did. We went to dinner parties. And, when people, go to dinner parties, they're cracking jokes, they're entertaining, they're having a good time. And so that's what I understand of socializing. When I came over here, people don't do that much. They don't invite people over to their house unless it's family, right? And so you don't really get that depth of communication with people, because you don't invite them to your home. If you're not breaking bread with someone and putting them in an environment where it's just like, because how you can, unless you're an idiot, you don't go over to somebody's house and be rude or disrespectful, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So you miss out on the ability to connect and to be, disarmed, to be vulnerable. Because if somebody's in your house, you're trusting that they're going to, behave with respect, almost like they would be if they were a family member.
Yeah.
They don't really have a lot of that here. Montreal, you could meet some, but in Montreal, you could go out on a Saturday, and by Tuesday, you've got 3 or 4 dinner invitations to other people's you've met's house. It's highly social, right? Toronto's a bit different, so it's really hard to basically establish those. You have to be pretty comfortable with people today to tell a joke.
Yeah, because
especially the Gen Zs,
especially with everybody that's very, you can't say that, or this or this or that. So you're afraid to say it.
You're afraid to say it.
I mean, even if it was just a simple thing, because some people take things very offensively.
Oh yeah, our generation, we grew up telling like jokes. You go up to a stranger and he can tell you something funny, and then that was just what you did to break the ice.
Yeah, but now you can't.
You can't do that
because everybody said you're not allowed to do that anymore.
Absolutely, but you can still sort of, and that's what we're talking about, is basically just go out there and find the fun. Like, you don't have to necessarily, because it's sort of, you don't know what's going on in someone's life. You don't know what their dynamic is or what their upbringing is. And, with today, people aren't as trustworthy. Like, you could basically accept a sandwich or a candy from a stranger, 30, 40 years ago. You wouldn't dare do that today.
No.
Right? So
yeah. Things have changed.
things have changed. So no, I think really it's really a question of adopting new ways of basically interacting and new ways of having fun. You can't do it like we used to.
No, exactly. So just maybe being a little bit more spontaneous and just a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Well, you and I do it all the time with people.
Yeah.
And only once in a while we get the weird looks.
Exactly. Okay, so question 5. If somebody's stuck in a rut, feeling like life is just routines and responsibilities, what's one small step that they could take today to inject some fun back into their life?
Collect.
Sorry?
Collect something. Find something to collect.
Yeah. Or try something new, something different.
Yeah. Well, why I say collecting is that collecting gives a sense of satisfaction. Like, you have to obviously find something within your capability, both financially and time-wise.
Yeah.
Right? But the sense of satisfaction I get from collecting Hot Wheels, it scratches that itch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
and that's always, we already talked about the spontaneity. When you find the one,
or just basically,
the
I'm gonna run over to the store to see what they have.
Yeah.
And then I always buy something regardless, even if you have it or whatever. But I'd say 5 out of 10 times you find something really special. Then you come back, you check its real value online, and you realize I've got myself a nice find.
Yeah. that
in itself creates so much positive energy and joy, and if you could find something basically that you could do as your pastime, I think really that would be the catalyst for finding other things like that. But if you're not looking for anything, if all you do is you get up in the morning, you go to your respective job, you work, then you go home and you basically, watch TV, you watch sports, and then you go to sleep. If you don't have any creative outlet, how are you going to know how to create joy? True. Like, it's there's an art to it, like anything else. You know what I mean? It's like being kind. If you're not kind in your life, and you meet someone, and then a circumstance calls for being kind, you're probably going to miss that boat, because guess what? You're not a kind person. So joy has to be practiced. I think happiness has to be practiced. I think being nice has to be practiced. I think all of these things, you have to make a conscious effort to say, I'm going to do this more. I'm going to behave in a way that basically I'm cultivating these things in myself. Because when you meet someone, it's like these people, I liken it to a lot of people say, I'm going to start traveling when I retire. No, you're not.
And they retire and they don't.
Well,
because they've never
why
done
all
anything.
Of a sudden are you going to start to do something that
just
you've never done? You've never done it. We are creatures of habit. Okay, we do what we basically will always do. So, and that's the thing, is that you have to put effort into finding joy and happiness.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
I know. I guess one other thing is to do something different in your routine. I've been doing a lot of fit-on exercises, so trying out different ones. Yeah. And some of the instructors are kind of silly.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of fun. Like when you're doing it, it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this exercise, but I'll see this trainer and they'll be talking about Power Rangers or something.
No, but it's
outside
cool.
of your exercising.
But it's interesting.
Yeah,
it's
so then you're like, okay, I'll do that one more time.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I think the thing is that we get so caught up in efficiencies and getting things done, we forget the process. Yeah. We forget to find joy and happiness in the actual process, and that's really what it's about. It's like anything you do is going to call on you to give something of yourself, and if you're not willing to basically contribute to the growth, why do it?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, you have to let go to grow. You have to contribute to your development. You have to try. If you're not doing any of that, then forget about being happy, but you're going to put yourself in a place where one day you're going to basically find something that you want to be happy and joyous about, but you won't know how.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right.
And that, or take up a sport or something.
Anything.
Maybe that what you used to do.
Anything.
Just recreational. Doesn't have to be professional or
anything. Just something that you give enough attention at the same that you give to your work.
Yeah. Well, you know what was really fun?
Mm.
When you and I did skateboarding.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't done that in forever.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah,
and
but
then
you
I
fell
and wiped out and hurt myself.
And we never went back. Yeah. So our skateboards are collecting dust. I think I've got shoes on.
It was really fun.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, and it's something that in the future, and the thing is, we bought you elbow pads and all that stuff, didn't we?
Yeah, I wore them.
Did you?
I think I did.
Yeah,
but it was my bum that hurt because I fell backwards.
But it bounced you right back up, right?
Not quite, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it was fun, despite the little injury. Okay, so question 6. Mm-hmm. How do you personally make sure fun doesn't get pushed aside by endless to-do lists? Do you actually put it on your calendar like Catherine Price suggests? Or what would you suggest people do?
Well, what I suggest people do is basically unlearn everything that they've learned when they were basically in high school and then in college and then early work years. We are basically programmed for a number of years to basically be full on go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And that the only way things are going to get done is if you're serious and you cut out all the fun, you cut out anything entertaining, you cut out anything interesting, you're in bed by 9, and so, what happens is our habits become our harness, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't go back and say, well, okay, great, you know what? I'm at a place where I don't have to operate like that anymore. That's what it is. Unlearn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Good advice. And I think it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's not spontaneous, but try to schedule it into your
make it a priority.
Time.
Make it a priority.
Just like you would schedule an appointment to go see your, doctor or something.
Prioritize happy, the pursuit of happy. Yeah. It should be just as important as the pursuit of work, because, if you don't have happiness in your life, joy in your life, you're really wasting your life.
Yeah. Because life is tough. So,
right? Yeah.
Work on putting some joy into it.
You need the balance.
Yeah.
You need the balance.
Okay. And then the last question. Looking ahead, how would our lives, relationships, or even our work change if we all prioritized fun as much as productivity?
I think we'd live longer.
Yeah, I think so too. People would be less burned out.
Yeah, sure. Heart disease, stroke, anxiety, depression. These are all results of basically people not having a quality of life. Like, I mean, you forsake your mental, your endorphins, your health, your happiness, you cannot be constantly bombarded by life and then expect to live a fruitful, joyous, full life. Mm-hmm. I think it's a health thing as well. Your relationships determine your health.
Yeah.
If you have problematic, troubled relationships, you're going to have problematic, troubled health.
Yeah. That's true.
So I mean, there's one thing to look. The whole institution of marriage was one basically where, years ago, for a woman to basically be okay, she needed a man. She doesn't need the man anymore. No. Women make more money today than most men, right? And so that whole social dynamic has changed, right? And with that change becomes, sort of prioritizing. It used to be that if you want to, live in a certain place or, live in a certain way, you would need to basically have like a graduate degree or, a doctorate or, today you see all these people who, they might be single, they might be young people. I don't know. I haven't looked at the stats on whether young people are having kids anymore or whatever, but, they're following a regiment or a routine that unless you're planning on having a big family or even a small family, you don't have to do a lot of the stuff that your parents did.
No. That's true.
Right? Yeah, you don't have to do a lot of the stuff. If you just want to travel and, work remotely, live differently, you can. Yeah, you can. You don't have to basically put yourself through the grind. Yeah, our parents did that because they had children to support, families to support.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have any of that driving you, why go through all of those motions? Right? So, yeah, live different.
That's true. Okay, so before we wrap up, we've come up with a little level up challenge. So for everybody tuning in, work on scheduling one fun activity to do this week and just put it in your calendar. Could be anything. Try a new recipe, try a new workout exercise, dance class.
Anything that takes you away from your mundane routine.
Any type of hobby. So fun isn't something you squeeze in when you have time. It's something that you prioritize.
Yep.
So try it out and let us know how it goes. And then just to wrap up, have we covered off everything? Yep. Okay. So there you have it. Catherine Price's 4 keys to having more fun. Reduce distractions, connect with people, break the rules, and actually put fun into your calendar.
Make it a priority.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for tuning in to our episode 12. I almost forgot which one it was. So if you enjoyed our conversation, share it with a friend because fun is contagious. Until next time, keep leveling up, keep laughing, and most importantly, try to make fun a priority. Thanks.
Thank you guys. See you next week.
Till next week.